Hey there, Matrix. Let us talk about monohybrid crosses. This is Genetics and Inheritance, Grade 12 Life Sciences. So remember, in our previous video, we have talked about genes and alleles. We have said that each and every gene has got a pair of alleles. It has got two alleles. So for example, if you see something like this, BB, together, this thing is known as a gene, is coding for a particular characteristic. But these parts of a gene or these variations of a gene, this B and this B, they are known as alleles. So I've explained the genes and allele properly in my previous video. So since you are made up of genes, since the genes are the ones that are coding for your particular characteristics, each gene has got a pair of alleles. It has got two alleles, or we can say a pair of alleles that code for a particular characteristic. So when it is time to reproduce, the alleles have to cross. So let's just say, for example, you now have to make a baby. Your baby has to look like you. Your baby has to inherit genes from you and your wife, of course, if you are a male, and your husband if you are a female. But basically, your baby has to inherit the what? The alleles and your genes, basically. So now, when you say that these two alleles cross, how do they cross? Let us look at the monohybrid cross. So the monohybrid cross is just a genetic cross that involve only one characteristic. So when we are doing a genetic cross, will be a monohybrid cross, we'll be just looking at only one characteristic, how it is transferred to the offspring and how it is inherited. So basically, we have to go through these phases and try to make a genetic cross. So let us look at the format of a genetic cross. How does it look like? A genetic cross, in this case a monohybrid cross, it has got the following things. First, you write P1, which represents the parent generation, and then F1, which represents the filiant generation. The parent generation, it is just telling you the information about the parents of that offspring, and then the F1 generation tells you the offspring, the characteristics of the offspring. Particularly, these two, when you just write these two, you get 1 mark, because monohybrid crosses are usually 6 marks. So you get 1 mark just by writing P1 and F1 at a distance. And then now you are going to write phenotype, genotype, meiosis, gametes, fertilization, genotype, phenotype. This looks confusing, but it will eventually make sense, especially if you have watched my videos on what meiosis is and how fertilization works. So basically, when you're talking about a phenotype, remember we're talking about the physical characteristic. In this case, we're talking about the one characteristic that we're trying to exchange with the wife that I'm having, for example. I'm not really having a wife, but it's an example. So let's just say, for example, capital letter B codes for black skin. Black skin. Okay, let's just use the word dark skin. I think black skin is not really appropriate. Let's just say dark skin. So capital letter B represents dark skin. Okay, so if I have got a genotype, let's just say my genes, it is BB. This is homozygous dominant. I've talked about this in my previous video. Remember, this is homozygous dominant. So capital letter B, this is homozygous dominant. So what will be my phenotype? In this case, my phenotype is going to be dark-skinned, because remember that the dominant characteristic, it is the one that will show in the phenotype. So basically here, I've got capital letter B and capital letter B. And I know that the capital letter represents the dark skin. So my phenotype there will be dark-skinned male. You can just say a dark-skinned male. And I am going to make a baby with, let's just say, the wife that I'm going to make a baby with has got small letter B, small letter B. So here, the small letters, remember, they are representing a recessive allele, right? So this is recessive. So this is homozygous recessive. Okay, mine is homozygous dominant. Her genotype is a homozygous recessive. So her physical characteristics, since we have said capital letter B codes for the characteristic of dark skin, then it means that she would have light skin. She would have the opposite of B, because small letter B is just the recessive allele. And in this case, when you have got a recessive allele in a homozygous recessive genotype, then you know that obviously you will have the recessive allele showing in the physical characteristic because it is the only one. There is no dominant allele there. So she would have what? She would have light skin as her genotype, as your phenotype, I mean. So this will be light skin because the phenotype tells you the physical characteristic that is coded by those alleles. So this is a light skinned female. So that is my what? That is my phenotype. So now the genotype, my genotype, I've said that it is capital letter B, capital letter B. And her genotype is small letter b, small letter b. So I've got two things here. So this must align, or this must correspond. In this case, you can see that my dark-skinned male here has got a genotype BB. My light-skinned female has got a genotype BB. So now what will happen? Meiosis will be the process that will happen. Remember that during meiosis, the body cells, remember that this genotype is found in my somatic cells. So during meiosis, remember that the body cells, they undergo cell division known as meiosis, and this will produce gametes at the end. That's why when we move from meiosis, we go straight to the gametes. So during meiosis, basically what happens, the chromosome separates, you know that. And these alleles are actually found on chromosomes. That's why I say, please watch my first video so that you get full understanding. These alleles are actually on top of chromosomes. So when chromosomes separate, it also means that these alleles are going to separate during meiosis. So after meiosis, the gametes that we are going to have under meiosis don't write anything, but on gametes, just write B and then you put a comma and then B. What is this signifying? This is signifying that this genotype of mine, these two alleles of mine, capital letter B and capital letter B, they've went through a process of meiosis. When the chromosomes separated, it means the alleles also separated because the alleles are actually found on the chromosomes. That's why the gametes here, you would have B, comma B. That comma, it is actually signifying the fact that there has been meiosis that has taken place. And each and every gamete here, he has got an allele B and another allele B. So meiosis will happen on my side, and meiosis will also happen on the female side as well. So we are going to write here a cross. We're going to put our cross because we are crossing the allele. We write the cross. On the female side, we had the genotype BB, small letter b, small letter b. So you're just going to write B, comma, B. This is all under gametes because her chromosomes also separated. It means that the gametes now have got each and every allele. So if we had a one cell, obviously, remember during meiosis, it divides to form two cells. So here we had two alleles. So when the chromosomes separate, then these alleles will go to different gametes, which are just the sex cells. And then now the next process that happens after meiosis is fertilization. So during fertilization, remember basically, during fertilization, the sperm cells and the ovum will actually be meeting. So in this case, we'll just assume that this is one sperm cell with one capital letter B. This is another sperm cell with one capital letter B because it is coming from the male. It's just an assumption. And then let's say from the female, this is one ovum that has got a small letter B. And then this is another ovum that has got a small letter B. So do you see that here we have got four gametes? We have got four possible gametes that we can have. But remember that during fertilization, fertilization occurs randomly. So one of them will be able to cross successfully. But remember, it's something that happens randomly. So you don't know which sperm cell will be able to get into the ovum. It's either it's the first one, the second one, or maybe the ovum that will be penetrated is the first one or is the second one from the female. So you have to make all those possible combinations. So basically, this sperm cell with the first capital letter B, it can be able to cross with this ovum. Okay, so this sperm cell with capital letter B, it can be able to cross with this first ovum. But it can also be able to cross with this one as well. So do you see that the first sperm cell number 1 from me, is able to penetrate both the ovums? Okay, so if it happens that this sperm cell, the first one with the capital letter B, crosses with the ovum with a small letter B. Then I'm going to have a new combination and I'll write it under genotype and I'll say this is B and B. So this is capital letter B, small letter B. I've just combined them here. There's nothing much I did. I just combined this B here and this B here to form one thing. It's now my zygote. It's now the offspring that I will be able to produce. And then this first sperm cell, it can also penetrate the second ovum, this green one. So we can also have a capital letter B and a capital letter B. I've just combined this B here and this B here, the capital letter and small letter. So you are done crossing the first allele. Crossing the second allele, this second allele here, it is B, capital letter B. It has got, this is a sperm cell with a capital letter B. And then we've got two ovums there. So this capital letter B, it can be able to cross with the first ovum. And when it crosses with the first ovum, it will be just a combination of capital letter B, this one, and small letter b, this one. And it can also be able, we can also be able to actually take what? We can also be able to actually take this, this allele here and cross it to this other ovule. And then when you do that, you are still going to get capital letter B and small letter b. So basically, this is what you have as the genotype. So this just tells you that if fertilization occurs, the genotypes for the filiant generation, this we have said that it's a filiant generation, or it is the offspring. It tells you all about the what? The offspring. So now, if you are going to do a genetic cross, it's possible for you to get this zygote or this zygote or this zygote or this zygote. But in this case, all of them, you can see that they're having the same genotype. So basically here, to interpret now, we have got 4 things that are having the same genotype. What is the phenotype for this genotype? B, B. What is the phenotype for this? Remember, we have said that capital letter B is representing the dark skin. So here we have got capital letter B and small letter b. This is actually heterozygous. This is heterozygous. So the genotype is heterozygous. This is my genotype. It's heterozygous. But the phenotype, how would the offspring be looking like if they've got this genotype? If they've got this genotype, remember the dominant characteristic will be the one that dominates. Just means here, since the dominant characteristic is capital letter B with dark skin, so it means that the offspring that I will have here would also have what? Would also have dark skin. In this case, there are 4 of the same type of what? Of genotypes. So we have got 4 offspring, or we have got 4 babies, but don't write babies in life sciences. 4 offspring with dark skin. So basically here, these are all the possibilities. So it means here, if I have got this genotype BB and the light skin has got the genotype small letter b, all our offspring would have dark skin. If it happens that I have a baby that has got a light skin coming from this genotype, it would not be my baby. It will not be my baby. It will be a Jazi, if you know isiZulu. I need to do a DNA test. So basically, if my genotype is completely dominant, that is, it is homozygous dominant, and the light skinned is for the female, it is completely recessive. That is, it is homozygous recessive. Then I expect only to find dark skinned babies because my characteristic is dominant. And you have proven this using a what? A genetic cross. So it's usually 6 marks, and then the format here is 2 marks to write the format, the correct format. Writing the P1, F1, phenotype, genotype, meiosis, gametes, fertilization, genotype, phenotype. That is 2 marks writing that. And then you're going to get the 4 marks by using the correct cross. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this video as an introduction to monohybrid crosses. We are going to look at another example in our upcoming videos. Stay tuned.